don't know who I am, but that's okay because we're here to discuss the 17 launch titles for the Nintendo Entertainment System. That's right, I want you to go ahead and travel back in time with me to 1986 and let's take a look at all these titles. We'll just go alphabetically and go from there. We'll discuss how they were back in the day, how I got to experience them, what they were like, and for some fun, we'll go ahead and rank each one as well.
To play the Nintendo Entertainment System. The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Well, first up is 10-Yard Fight, and unfortunately, the only good thing I can say about this game is it's got a cool name. This was not the football game that we were waiting for, or what we wanted to have when the Nintendo first released. But it's what we got, and unfortunately, it's not very good. I mean, as we'll see in a moment here, I spent so much time playing on the Atari 2600 with the football there that almost anything was going to be a step up. But this 10-Yard Fight, I mean, technically it was a step up, but it was pretty much 2 steps back. Lucky for me, we just rented it a few times when I had that itch where I wanted to play some football, and I would reluctantly grab that one and play it for that Saturday, maybe possibly part of Sunday, and then just be ready to take it back. But lucky for us, we had big things on the horizon for football. Well, okay there, 10-Yard Fight. I'm going to go ahead and give you a D. Here are the bleeps and bloops of the Atari football game for the 2600. So, I mean, I guess it's still pretty darn close to what we got with 10-Yard Fight, but anyways, it was a step up, I will give it that. As 10-Yard Fight did not do justice to football, baseball, now that's a different story. For the first baseball game on the Nintendo, this is a very high quality title. No, really, I mean, this hits it out of the park. Any trepidations or any thoughts that this might not live up to my idea of a baseball game were quickly squashed as soon as you put this thing in, hit power, and then started playing. It had a simple charm to it, just that word we love to use all the time, intuitive play. It worked really well. It flowed really well, and it made you keep wanting to play again and again. Even though we have plenty more baseball games to come, and some that get definitely more in depth, become more of a simulation, and some become more of arcade, I'm going to go ahead and give baseball here a B. Clu Clu Land. What the heck is Clu Clu Land? I remember renting this out of pretty much desperation. I'd played everything else, but I wanted something new, and here was Clu Clu Land, something I had seen many times, but had yet never pulled the trigger to rent. And then I rented it, took it home, powered everything up, started this game, and what? What are we doing? What is happening? How do I even play this thing? But it was very intriguing. And it grabbed my attention because I wanted to figure it out. I wanted to know just what to do and how to play it. After spending a bit more time with the instruction booklet, we figured it out. And that's when we realized Clu Clu Land is a darn fun game. The puzzle aspect of it is entertaining. The replay value is very high. There were multiple ways to be able to solve all these puzzles. So it really lent itself to just having a great time to sit down and not just play for 10 minutes. You could play for an hour or two and just not get bored. I gotta say, this is one of those great surprises of when you just pull something off the shelf and you're just like, man, I hope this is fun. I hope this is decent. I hope I just didn't waste my money. Good news is, it's not a waste of money. In fact, it needs to be in your NES collection. If you don't have it, be sure to get it. It's just wonderful entertainment and fun for any skill level and any age. Anybody can play this game, can pick up and just have fun. Well then, Clu Clu Land, you get an A. Oh, goodness, Duck Hunt. Do I love you? Do I hate you? Ugh, I don't know. What I do know is that you were my first experience with the Zapper. And I guess because of that, you'll always have a special part in my childhood and in my nostalgia when I think back, and even when I play it from time to time, just to re-experience that pain and that annoyance of the dog. Oh, sure, we get to shoot down ducks, we get to shoot down clay pigeons. I mean, yeah, I guess it was something to do for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, I guess it was something to do when everybody was in the room, something that Mom and Dad could even play. I mean, as a pack-in, this made perfect sense to include with Super Mario Bros. I mean, it really showed off what the Nintendo could do. And, like I just said, it really showed that it was entertainment for everybody in the family. Well, Duck Hunt is a wholly competent game, but not one that I thoroughly enjoy, so I'm going to go ahead and just give it a C. Rage-inducing. Alright, Excite Bike. No, really, it is. It's exciting. A bit difficult when you first play it because you just want to mash that acceleration button and just go. You just want to hit top speed and go as fast as you can. But we all learned very quickly that you can't do that because your bike loves to overheat. It was here with Excite Bike that really taught me my first lesson of patience and of not just having to go as fast as you can all out, that there is actually some strategy involved and some nuance to be able to actually make the game play correctly. And I'm sure that impatientness of my younger years and my younger age definitely led to a lot of lost quarters there in the arcade. But alas, here is Excite Bike teaching me the lesson that I needed to learn. And with that lesson learned, I go ahead and give Excite Bike an A. Another sports title? Sure, don't mind if I do. Here we are with golf, and all I can say is, wow. Easy to pick up and play. Controls are just straightforward and really understandable. It did a great job in immersing you in the game of golf. I remember that one Thanksgiving in 86, 87, going to see my grandparents, and they surprised us by NES for themselves, and that just blew my little mind. And one of the games that they bought also with it was golf. And I remember sitting there and playing this golf game with my grandma many times, and that was really cool. Those are amazing memories that you know what those are like. They feel so good, and it's so great to look back and to think about it and just get the big old smile on your face. And every time I go back and play golf here, I always remember those days and those smells and all those sounds. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So with that, I mean, the only thing I can do is go ahead and give golf an A as well. Well, we all had that friend who got the really big set that had everything, that came with Rob the Robot and all the fun stuff. And yeah, I had a friend like that too. And while Rob was really cool to see the first time, and they get to play around with, you know, for 20 minutes or so, and get to see in action a couple times, you'd see why it quickly just disappeared and why nothing really else came of it. It was rough. Just the slowness of poor Rob. I mean, it was so cool to see him and to have him do stuff and to interact with you, but that's it. It was just very meh once you actually started playing around and trying to enjoy a game with him, whatever you want to call him, a little robot. I don't know. Gosh, it's tough. Even now to talk about it's just like, how do I talk about how fun it was or wasn't when it was just there? And nothing I ever really envied once I got to experience it. Yeah, maybe I didn't get to spend enough time with Rob, but that's okay. I really feel like I did not miss out. And with that, I give Gyromite here a C, because it's solid. He's used, and it shows what he can do.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
Alright, Hogan's Alley! Now this one was my light gun game. This was my zapper fun. I thoroughly enjoyed Hogan's Alley. Well, here comes that word I like to use a lot. It's simple. That made it so much fun. And you could play this, again, you could play this for a quick 10 minutes, or you could play it for a nice 30 to 40 minutes. It has a few different game modes that are a blast to play, and just, can really keep you engaged. You gotta have them sharp eyes so you know who to shoot and who not to shoot. Who's good, who's bad. Who do I need to take out, who do I need to save. Come on, you gotta get in the right mindset, You gotta start thinking like you're a cop. Start thinking like you're a criminal, whichever side you want to be on. Get yourself really in the role. Just think about what you need and squeeze that trigger and take care of business. Then after all that stress and all that trying to think and watch and keep your eyes peeled and sharp, you just sit back and shoot some cans. Shoot some cans here and there and just trying to get up some points. So Hogan's Alley, with all that said and done and the enjoyment I had here, I'm also going to give you an A. Every now and then, you get a game that just comes out of the blue, that just takes your breath away, or really just really impresses you and makes you just want to play it over and over and over again. Well, that was Ice Climber. The unique gameplay here of Ice Climber is so cool because there's so many different... sure, you're just trying to get straight to the top, but there are different ways to try and get there. Well, maybe there's not too many different ways to get there, but I guess what I'm trying to say is there are different ways to play it to get to the top. And that is, sometimes you want to play to just be a score attack, right? You just want to see how big of a score you can get when you get up to the top. Or maybe you're trying to speed run it because, these levels are timed, so you want to see how fast you can get to the top. Or maybe you want to do something silly like just see how many blocks you can break in the given amount of time, even though you're going to lose on the level. This title offered so many ways to play the game that it was so fun and so easy to go back to every time. Or if you only had like 10 or 15 minutes, you needed something quickly to play, throw an Ice Climber, and you had a great time. Well, now the other unique thing about this title, as you just saw on this bonus stage, was that this was, for me, the first Nintendo title that I saw the eggplant in. And, well, eggplants would soon come to play a really big part of Kid Icarus in the coming year, and wow, there's one we should talk about. Now, I never did get to own Ice Climber in my childhood, but I did borrow it from friends, and I did rent it a few times because I always wanted to play this title. It was so cool. It's now one of those titles that I've got on my, short list of NES games that I want to be fully complete, with the box, the manual, and all the inserts that I can get. So with saying all that, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give Ice Climber our first S ranking. Yeah, that's right. I think it's that good. Oh, Kung Fu. How I dislike Kung Fu. And I don't think I can really put my finger on it. I don't know if I can just say I don't like the level design. I don't like how it's just such a simple little side-scroller like this. I guess, I don't like the animations. I definitely don't like the sounds or the music. There's just something about this title that does not connect with me on any level. I know there are plenty of fans out there of this game, and that's fine. This one just was not for me. I tried it on the Commodore 64. I even put quarters into the arcade to try it. I just no matter what port I played, I just didn't like it. Maybe I was just too spoiled by the Way of the Exploding Fist. So that when it came to Kung Fu or Karate or any type of martial arts, that's what I wanted to play. I guess when I try to look at it objectively, I can't be too harsh or critical really about it, other than how it just, didn't fit my taste. So I think here at the end, we're just going to go ahead and give Kung Fu a C. Hey, we'll just take a moment to interrupt things, change up the flow for a second. But yeah, as you've seen, there's been some really good stuff. There's been some questionable stuff. But either way, you know, the launch for the NES, I mean, they had there was a lot available, which is great because over the last 40 years, we have seen plenty of launches where there's just very few games, and it's a little lackluster when that happens. All right, let's get right back to it. Hey, it's Pinball! Everybody is always looking for a good pinball game. And Pinball here for the NES is a solid game. Oh, there's that word again, solid. I've been using that too much. Let me think of a different one. And Pinball here for the NES is a very worthwhile game to add to your collection. Yeah, there, that was a little bit better. This really just gets the job done. There's no frills, there's no thrills. It's just solid. I mean, it's just worthwhile. It's another game that has that great family vibe to it, where anybody can sit down and play it, no matter what their age is, so everybody can enjoy it. It was one, again, that was just a rental every now and then. Never did own this one. But you know, for a rental, it was worthwhile picking up as, like, if you're going to get two for that weekend, one serious one, and then one just to have some fun with. And knowing how it just gets the job done, doing what it's supposed to do, follows through, and is a good game, I'm going to go ahead and give Pinball a B. Robot Block, or as we really know it here in North America, Stack Up, was another title to feature Rob the Robot. And as I talked about the other Rob game, Gyromite, this was one that my friend had. And this is one that is, what I gotta say is, it's fun to play once, and by fun, I mean it's an experience to get to try it, to get to, as you see here, program Rob, and then see him follow through with the commands that you put in. And then, really, there's some other mini games that involve interacting with him and doing things, but it was something that just, took way too long to get working and to get working right, and just, like I said, the novelty of it wore off for me really fast after the first or second time that we tried using it. Of course, you know, maybe if I would have had this back in the day, I would have spent a lot of time with it at some point, really trying to give it a go and understand how to use it, and really appreciate how interactive it was. But since it was just something I got to experience just periodically when I went to visit my friend, that it never really meant much to me. So, sorry, Stack Up, but I gotta give you a D. Here we go with soccer, and as far as I can remember, this is my very first soccer game on any type of console or computer. Soccer here shows you just how 10-yard fight should have been for an American football game. You see plenty of people on the field, each moving individually, and moving actually with speed and intent, a little bit of motion, some inertia. It looks like a real game of soccer. Now, I'm not the biggest connoisseur of soccer or, football, but this game was very enjoyable. There's minimal slowdown, minimal flickering. They balanced it just right, so the flow keeps you going. And keep me going it did, because I remember renting this one actually, fairly often. Yeah, and I guess by fairly often I mean until Tecmo Bowl showed up. So any way you bend it, see what I did there? So any way you bend it, I give soccer here a definite B. And that brings us to the game that needs no introduction. It needs no commentary. But I'm still going to say a couple of words. Super Mario Bros. Was the killer app, and they were lucky to have this right at the start of the NES. And of course, the other brilliant thing was that for most of us, this was one of the pack-in titles. And with Super Mario Bros., you almost don't need any other game. We all know it, this iconic music, the iconic sounds, the iconic level designs, everything about this led to a massive, massive franchise and the best mascot that almost any company could have. I mean, right up there, just as recognizable as Mickey Mouse. Maybe even more. As far as the NES launch titles are that we're talking about here, this of course is the pinnacle, and this was the best one of the bunch, and there is nothing short of a rank of S that we can give Super Mario Bros. even when we first read this infuriating end-level message.
What?
Here we are now with tennis. Man, the Nintendo launch lineup was full of sports titles. Oh, of course it was. I mean, they were trying to appeal to every person, every audience. They wanted to get everybody buying their system so they could get you hooked. Boy, did they get us hooked. I mean, look at us now, still talking about this 40 years later. I'm not the biggest tennis fan, and you know, that's okay. So I really only ever rented this one time to give it a shot, to see what it was like. It was alright. You know, whatever, wasn't my cup of tea. I really didn't enjoy tennis games until the Super Nintendo with Super Tennis. Now that one I had a lot of fun with. So when I go back to this and I look and I think about it, I mean, I can't say it's like Kung Fu that I just disliked it. I can't say that it's amazing like Ice Climber where I just wanted to play it over and over again. So I'm just gonna have to give it in the middle of the ground, give it a C, and say, hey, thanks for being there. Ha! Hey, here we go, Wild Gunman. Taking us kids to the Wild West to have some good one-on-one showdowns. What a fun way to use a zapper. Let's go to toe-to-toe. Let's see who's got the faster draw. Let's see who can be the quickest in the West. There's a fun variety of different guys you gotta shoot at. You know, you get to watch their countdown on how quick they are on their draw too, so you got a good gauge of how fast you are. I mean, of course, who didn't just sit there and point the gun at the TV and pull the trigger? I mean, some of us really tried to immerse ourselves. Pulled out the old holster that we had, you know, our cap guns in, and then we were really cool. Wild Gunman was best enjoyed in the company of others. This was a good multiplayer game. This was fun to pass around the zapper to everybody and just see who could be fast and who could be faster than the other person. You know, just simple fun like that. Thank you, Wild Gunman, for being a good game and for giving me a lot of great memories. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an A. Wrecking Crew. You know what I remember most about Wrecking Crew was that I actually enjoyed the music. The gameplay was a little too slow for me, but I really enjoyed watching other people play. So that anytime anybody said, hey, you want to play Wrecking Crew? I said, yeah, I would love to watch you. Yeah, now look at us, watching Twitch and YouTube Live constantly. Turns out I've been watching streaming for a very long time. One thing that Wrecking Crew really has going for it is the level design. Varied levels, lots of different things to do, or, well, I mean, lots of different things you have to do and have to wreck and break down. You know, never leaves you wanting, never a dull moment, that's for sure. While this one just wasn't for me, and you know, I'm okay with that, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a B. And there you have it, all 17 NES launch titles, and let's see, let's go ahead and take a moment, I'll compile them all in one little picture so we can see where they all rank out at the end here. Let's take a look. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below which launch titles you had, or which ones you liked the best, or didn't like, or what your experience was during the launch of the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'll catch you in the next video, and as always, game on!
Yeah.